Hey guys, how are we doing? And welcome to the Green Stripe syllabus. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the double forearm high block followed by the L stance middle punch. Here it is. Okay, so the double forearm block we're going to perform in walking stance. Now this block looks a lot like an inner forearm middle block that we've done before as a white belt and a yellow stripe, but this time we're going to perform this eye level. So we're still blocking with that same inner forearm section of the arm, but it's going to be a bit higher. It's going to be eye level, and our reaction hand this time is not going to come back to our hip. We're actually supporting with the other arm. That other arm is going to sit just behind that elbow joint at the point of impact. Now, the main purpose of having that other arm there is to allow you to then do a secondary block very quickly, which would be a version of a reverse low block potentially. So it allows us to block across in one direction and then quickly change to a reverse low block with that other arm if we need to. And that particular scenario does come up in your patterns eventually. Now, when you move on to the L stance middle punch, we want to make sure that we're chambering that arm correctly. Now, the rule with moving your front foot is if you're changing stance, then you reposition your front foot. If you're doing two movements in the same stance, you wouldn't need to move a foot, you just do your sine wave on the spot. Here, we're going to change from a walking stance to an L stance. So our front foot is going to come about halfway back to the other foot, and then we're going to realign it ready for our L stance as we step down into L stance. As you bring that front foot back, you're going to allow your hands to come in. So we're going to relax them in towards the center, and then we're going to extend our reaction hand ready to then throw that middle punch as we step out into our L stance. Make sure here that your punch travels in a nice straight line towards the target. I often see students here bringing their arm across into position because they're focused on other things like the transition between stances, for example. So we want that punch to come back towards the hip. Remember, it goes upside down so that it can then twist on impact. And then we're going to drive that punch forward as we drive our foot forward into our new L stance. In order to get power, we're going to use that standing leg to drive ourselves forward into the punch. As this is an L stance movement, we're going to be half facing on impact. So be careful not to rotate your shoulders to the side into a side facing position. Everything we've learned about a middle punch applies here. Make sure that we're rotating our hand into position on impact. We're looking for shoulder height on the finish. Don't forget to fully extend that reaction hand before you throw that punch. So as you're bringing that front leg in from your walking stance, you're also reaching with that reaction hand. And then as you push yourself out into that L stance, you pull your reaction hand back and you throw the punch. Okay, and that's it for the double forearm high block and L stance middle punch. Awesome job, guys. See you in the next one.